Selena. It's a vibe, baby. Oak Cliff girl, can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them heels on and rule.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spending the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
Okay. I'm waiting on very top. Not too long. Not too long that I got home, so I had to get out and about for a minute, and so I just made it home. So I'm in a rush to get back to get to you guys. Hey Naomi, thank you for coming. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I just let Brother Brainwaves know that I'm live, and the link is at the very top. So we're gonna. My internet is acting a little difficult today because it's a storm like in our air. Excuse me, in our area. So I'm not able to. Get some of the videos that I need. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Brother Brainwaves. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, sis? I'm good. What about you?
I wasn't able to. I think you sent them to my phone. So let me see if I could go on there because, like I said, I can you show them on your end or not?
Let's see, I believe I can. Let me go ahead and pull them up real quick.
Okay.
I should be able to, though.
Okay. So if you could do that on your end, I really appreciate you coming through. This is a very late live on a Friday night. And I thank my brother Brainwaves for coming up here because I know he's a busy man. He's a father, a husband, a professional. So he's always busy, honey. So just for him to spend some time over here, I really appreciate it. How you doing, Randy? Thank you for coming through. And guys, if y'all haven't checked my live stream that I had this morning with my cousin, I interviewed her, and you guys need to really check that out. It was a really good interview, and it was sweet and short. So I think you guys will like it. You said, and just okay. Thank you so much. Hey, Hassan, how are you? So tell me when you're ready, Brainwaves.
Okay,
But if you guys do not know, Brother Brainwaves has his own channel. Hassan, you've been over there a few times. Can you please put Brainwaves channel in my chat so that people can sub up if they are not subbed up to her? I would really appreciate it. So, like I said, Brainwaves talks about a variety of things. He doesn't just talk about spirituality. He really talks about a lot of things that's going on in the world. Very interesting, very insightful. A lot of things he talks about, some people, some content creators haven't even talked about it yet. So shout out to him for being creative and innovative and all of that. So shout out to him and thank you guys for coming. I know we said, okay, give me a second. Okay. Now I can try it on my end. Let me see if I can do it on my phone. Okay, let me see if I can go back to my history and get it um, and play it that way, so we won't have to wait too long. And again, hopefully my internet will not start acting up because it is some storms in these areas. So just be patient. Let me see with me. Let me see if it'll come up. It's not coming up. Why is it not coming up in my history? Okay. Okay. It's not coming up. Brother Brainwaves, were you able to?
Let me go ahead and try. Let's see.
I mean, if you, for whatever reason, it's not coming up in my history, I pulled it up on my phone and it's not doing it. It's not coming up. Well, let me just go. You know what? I made a mistake. Hold on just a second. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I really appreciate it for you guys being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you came through here. So let me play this one more time. Okay. Okay, great. I got it. Brainwaves.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me share this with you guys. You said Selena just co-signed you. I'm going to take a look at his page. Okay, thank you. Like I said, I think you'll Brainwaves is a healthy debater, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of things you don't agree with, and he doesn't mind that. He's a very healthy he has very healthy conversations over there, and he doesn't mind people debating with him. Okay, so brother Brainwave, excuse me. All you have to do is tell me when to stop, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay. What I will tell people, and hello to
you still
everyone
there,
in the
D?
chat. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay.
Can you,
Okay.
can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I
You
can hear
hear me, right?
you. You were the
Okay. What I was
you in the Matrix.
I was in the Matrix. Well, with this particular topic, go figure.
Okay.
Hello to everyone in the chat. My apologies for not saying hello.
Yeah, I
To
can hear you
everyone
now.
Okay, awesome. For everyone that's here, I was just trying to get the video content ready for you all. So my apologies up front for not saying hello to everyone. Welcome to Selena's show. Of course, make sure you subscribe to her channel. If you're the regulars, I'm pretty sure you're already subscribed. And again, Hassan is
What
going
did
to
you
be an
say?
eye opener.
My little my area, okay?
Individuals saw sexuality as a direct link to the divine, a force that could shape reality and alter consciousness. Yet, over time, institutions sought to suppress and distort these teachings, turning sacred practices into taboos. For those who dared to, we unveil the enigmatic and forbidden world of sexual magic.
It looks like we lost the video feed. If you all can hear me, we know Selena mentioned about her internet issues. If you all can hear me without any voice interruptions or any technical difficulties, could those of you in the chat put a 1 in the chat? If so, I'm going to attempt to share the video and see if we can get it going on my end. So if you all can hear me without any issues, please put a 1 in the chat and we're going to try to go from there. As Selena mentioned, it is storming in her area. So obviously that may be affecting her particular end. And I think we just lost Selena. Okay, so there's a 1. Okay, so everyone can hear me. If Selena, one way or the other, we're gonna do this show. If I have to hold it down for her, those of you that know me, I'm capable of doing just that. We're gonna try to allow her to come back in, and I'm only gonna give her a second. I know a lot of you are here.
Okay.
There we go. There we
All
go.
right. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened. I was showing the video. Did y'all see any of the video?
Maybe 40 something seconds of it, and then it cut off, and then you cut off.
Okay, so let me go back. I was talking about, that's what I was telling you. It's bad weather in our area, so that's why I was asking you to do it, because the area is gonna keep going in and out. But I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna start at the very beginning. Again, I do apologize for the technical difficulties, but I'm gonna start over.
Throughout
Okay.
history, civilizations have harnessed sexual energy for mystical and spiritual purposes. Hidden in secret societies and sacred texts, forbidden sexual rituals were believed to unlock supernatural power, enlightenment, and even immortality. But why has this knowledge been suppressed? Were these practices truly dangerous, or did they hold secrets that could empower individuals beyond societal control? Many cultures saw sexuality as a direct link to the divinity. Yet,
Lester Crowley, they got and some of, what's her name, Madame Blavakovich. I can't pronounce her name, but these people got a lot of their symbolism and a lot of their knowledge from Egypt. Am I correct about that?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And why do they use so much wisdom, or the symbolisms that they even use, like in Freemasonry? Why do they use all of this? Like, and this is from an African culture. Can you kind of expound on that?
Well, they're doing a lot of this from quote unquote African culture. And this is the short version for the audience that's watching and listening to this, whether it's live or on the replay. This is much deeper. And I don't want to take the time to go too deep on it, because if I go too deep, it's going to be extremely long. And so I don't want to do that with this particular live stream at this time. The reason why a lot of these individuals have tapped into the African culture, the Egyptology aspects of this, is because they recognize being connected to the so-called sacred lineage. This goes back into biblical days and a few other things. And so there was a lot of profound uh, powers, abilities. You can also say like the Mayans. They were another civilization that knew how to tap into at the deepest level. And so those individuals wanted to tap into that particular line of energy. They also wanted to tap into the symbols. Symbols are sigils. In a lot of the witchcraft, or in that side of spirituality, a lot of people in New Age, a lot of certain design, certain artwork, they represent things magically. And so they understood by copying or adopting and tapping into those same symbols, it would allow them to have access to that same power, even though they're not necessarily of the African bloodline. So, for instance, Aleister Crowley, we know he's white, to make a long story short. But when you talk about the African culture, we're dealing with black, same thing, Egyptology, we're dealing with the black bloodline, so-called the biblical lineage and all of that. So the Israelite bloodline, if you may go there, and it's deeper than that, but I'm just scratching the surface. So Aleister Crowley and other individuals, they're able to tap into that and infuse it with their bloodline and their culture. And so they essentially make something. It's like making a concoction. I'm gonna put a little bit of this, put a little bit of that in there, and that's gonna be extra powerful and potent. And they essentially have remixed it, and then they put their spin on it.
Okay. If there is some people that would like to join the conversation, do you have an issue with that?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. So if anybody would like to come up, I will put the link in the chat. So if anybody wants to come up and expound or disagree or debate, whatever. As long as you're respectful, I don't mind you coming up. But I'm going to play a little bit more of this particular video. Please tell me, guys, if I'm in the matrix. I hope that I'm not. But like I said, I explained earlier, there is bad weather in our areas in Dallas. So sometimes my internet may go in and out, or it may sound like I'm in the matrix. So just let me know, help me to be aware of it.
Egypt, sexuality was considered sacred and an essential part of the universe's cosmic balance. Ritualistic sexual acts were performed within temples dedicated to deities such as Isis and Osiris. These ceremonies were meant to invoke divine energy, ensuring not only personal enlightenment, but also the prosperity of the kingdom. High priests and priestesses engaged in carefully orchestrated sexual rites, using their energy to channel divine forces. The pharaoh himself was believed to be part of these sacred rituals, embodying the cosmic union of the gods. This practice was seen as a sacred duty, an act that connected the mortal world with celestial realms. Could it be that these rituals were the true source of Egypt's advanced knowledge and power? Tantric practices in India.
So I'm just gonna stop there. They make sexual. The way it sounds here, it's like sexual having sexual relations is spiritual more than anything. That's kind of how they're making it seem. It's very spiritual. Like they said, with the celestials and I guess humans, and it's just a spiritual kind of connection you have. It's not just physical, it's spiritual. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Here in the Western world, especially in today's time, we look at sex as, it's just purely physical. And when I say we, the generalization of it, it's just looked at, get your rocks off, so to speak, satisfy your desires. We generally think about sleeping around or sleeping with someone for physical pleasure. But
Right.
very, in terms of the majority of society, do they actually go into it with the spiritual mindset? When it comes to sex magic and the individuals that came before us, as well as people today, they highly look at it as spiritual. And one of the things that's actually interesting is even when you look at things in terms of the Bible, it's a lot of spiritual wisdom, a lot of spiritual guidance that's attached to having sex and sleeping around or what have you. We generally don't look at it. We just like, well, as long as I don't catch an STD, as long as I don't get somebody pregnant or get pregnant, whatever, whether you the guy or the girl, it's like, okay, I'm good, whatever. Was she good? Was he good? Was it bad? Did it suck or whatever? That's how we generally look at it. But for them, everything was a spiritual act with connecting with what they believe is God or higher beings, for them to transcend certain things. And even as it relates to like witchcraft and certain things of that nature, it's for them to carry out like spells or for them to manifest certain things, because sex is that highest form of energy. It's literally the energy that allows us to create. Like we can literally bring forth life from it, as we know, through children or what have you. So with that level of power and that level of creation, they use that to transcend certain goals. When you see the other video, video is going to break down another perspective of it, and it's going to be good for people to see both sides, because they're seeing this side of it, and then they're going to see another side of it, and they're going to be, whoa, now I see what's going on.
And again, anybody can join the panel, guys. If you are wanting to discuss this, you are more than welcome. Hey, beautiful. Thank you for coming. Long time no see. I'm glad to see you. Hey, Slim. Thank you for coming through. Well, I'm going to finish this video, and then we're going to go on to the next one, okay?
Tantra, originating in ancient India, is one of the most misunderstood spiritual practices. Unlike its modern eroticized interpretation, true Tantra is a disciplined path aimed at unifying male and female energies to achieve enlightenment. The physical aspect of Tantra was never the goal. Rather, it was a tool for reaching higher states of consciousness. By controlling and redirecting sexual energy, practitioners claim to awaken the Kundalini, a dormant serpent-like energy at the base of the spine. This awakening was said to elevate consciousness, allowing individuals to transcend material limitations and reach divine wisdom. Could it be that the suppression of true tantric knowledge was intentional, to prevent individuals from unlocking their highest potential? Greek mysteries and Dionician rites. The ancient Greeks celebrated the raw power of sexual energy through the Dionician mysteries, secretive rites dedicated to Dionysus, the god of wine, ecstasy, and fertility. These rituals involve dance, intoxication, and intimate ceremonies designed to dissolve individual identity and merge with the divine. Participants were said to experience visions, divine madness, and moments of cosmic enlightenment. Priestesses known as Maenads led the ceremonies, guiding initiates through experiences of transcendence. It was believed that by surrendering to primal instincts, one could momentarily merge with the gods. Could these rituals have been a way to break free from societal constraints, allowing individuals to glimpse hidden realms?
Okay, I have to stop it. And this is fair use. I should have
Right.
said that at the very beginning. Hey, Dave, how are you?
Hey, salute, salute. Hey, how you doing?
How
How
are
you feeling?
you?
I'm
What's
What
going
would
alright.
you
on,
like to?
Dave?
Hey, what's going on? No, I was just listening to some of this stuff here that the video speaking upon. I
Yeah,
just
and
wanted
this is really eye-opening, even though I knew some of this stuff because I knew that sex is spiritual. It's not the way society makes sex, where it's just like I'm just gonna get some, bust a nut, and I'm done. It's more than that, and I think that that type of like the sacred part of sex, it's not there anymore. People are just about hitting it and quitting it, or I need to get some, and it's nothing more than that to some people. What do you
yeah,
guys think of that?
I agree with you. Like some people like yes, but some people they just like lust. They see women, you know what I mean, or the opposite sex and that's what they want to do. I don't ever really knock people for their sexuality or whatever. I don't like when people
Mm-hmm.
use their sexuality like to introduce themselves or any of that. Like I think that's personal. That's just to me. I was just interested on how we're saying like sexuality like unlocked all these doors and made people like you really believe that like some of the stuff this video saying.
You
Not some of it. I do not. And a lot of things. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some things I don't agree with, and some things I don't understand, because
Right.
there's some things that's so deep. It would take us, some of us, to take decades for us to understand and to actually learn and comprehend everything, all the little details and things with it. I just feel like sex is a little bit more sacred than what society, social media, all of the, has made it. They have made sex not sacred. It's more, like I said, it's more about, just getting pleasure. But I believe that, the Most High, of course, the first thing, the reason why he made it was for us to produce. That was the number one reasoning. But out of that, we get pleasure. But it was to be with a person, like, your husband or your wife, from my understanding. Now, or someone that you love. But I was taught um in my household, I was taught it was, for you and your husband. But of course, we don't live in a world that goes by those different standards. We go by, whoever we love at the time or whoever we lusting at the time, and we have sex, and it's
Right.
a little bit to me more than just sex. We're connecting two souls together, we're merging together. Because if you notice, the woman, we have the womb, and and the man, we receive from the man. It's like we're merging together as one. So I think it's a little bit more it's so much more spiritual and sacred than we will ever understand or know as human beings.
Physically, I don't think so. I'm
Physically,
this just my
hey
opinion.
Alan.
Listen, like physically, I don't think
Mhm.
so because like you could just be attractive and sit on a guy's lap or something. He might get sexually aroused. That don't mean y'all had some fucking platonic ass you know what I mean, vibe going on or y'all that just mean he physically attracted to you. Like I believe like it's other things that make it
Oh
like that.
yeah,
It's other things like when you
attract
meet a woman,
attraction and sex.
you might like the way she smell, you might like the way she act, you might like the way she treats you, you might be intrigued by a conversation. You can't stop thinking about her, no matter if you had sex with her or not. Like
Oh, okay.
these are things that be like make me like. But sex could be physical. You can go to a strip club and you could see a woman with a nice and be like, man, and be sexually attracted to her. But mentally attracted is something different to me. Like
Right.
that's when they go together. Then yeah, because like just say, like for instance, you with somebody and they get ill and they get sick and they can't even perform sex no more. So now you telling me all these attributes that you just named with sex go away? So we can't do none of this stuff no more that you just said go with sex because my partner might be ill or something like that. So that go away. I think it's the other way. I think it's mentally. If you feel these things about somebody, then you can create that with the sex. If
Okay.
I'm
That's
making
a good
sense of what.
a perspective to look at it. Yeah, we do have certain types of attraction for people. Like as you say, of course, it always stems back in lust. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we are sexually turned on by somebody and we haven't even slept with them yet. But that's lust. But I
But
think
it's still sexual. You understand what I'm
it's
saying?
still
Because when you saying
sexual.
sex, we thinking
Mhm.
about like when you say sex, what do you? Maybe I'm
I'm thinking
misinterpreting. When you
about
say sex, what are we talking about? Like, are we talking
I'm
about
I'm talking
sex?
about when a man enters a woman.
Right.
Or
Okay.
yeah, that's
All
what
right.
I'm
Cool.
talking about.
So, all right. Cool. So that's what I'm talking about too. You know what
Okay.
I mean? You could have a guy that could love everything about his wife and can fall. He could be like he can fall. Let's just say he made a mistake. Let's just say this guy never cheated on you, but he physically was attracted to somebody for a night and ended up making a mistake and having sex with somebody else. Do that mean he loved them like he loved you, or was attracted to them mentally and went through the struggles and all types of things you go through when you love people? Because love ain't just when you love somebody ain't that don't mean it's easy or whatever. Or when you vibe with somebody on a whole different level, it still might be, it's still you still might go through struggles or whatever. So it might not be an easy path or whatever to even get to that level of vibing with somebody, even as a community or whatever. It's still hard to get mentally from listening to this video. You know what I mean? From what
Yeah,
this
yeah,
video
I can
that
see what
does,
you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah,
especially.
I'm not, well, to answer your question, I mean, I see what you're saying. Someone could cheat on you, and that doesn't mean that they don't love you, but that does mean
Right,
that they lack self-control.
exactly.
But that doesn't take away the fact that they care.
Right. Y'all
You're
might
a
have
person.
vibed on
Yeah.
a whole different level and you might have felt some way you never felt with this person that you felt with nobody else. Like y'all up
hmm
there. You know what I mean? And if you write about it right there, it'll sound explosive. You know what I mean? Like, man, me and him had sex and it made me feel like, you could write all these deep, these elegant words and then make it seem explosive. So people like that's why I say it's
Mhm.
different. Now he might go see a stripper with a
Okay.
fat ass and be like, "Fuck that, I'ma hump that." You know what I mean? He ain't gonna have no elegant words, and she not. Sex ain't like that for everybody. Some people don't even enjoy the shit.
Yeah, and that's fine. I just don't want to be with nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just to me, you just undisciplined. You just going whatever you see, you gonna stick. And to me, I don't like that kind of stuff. Like that's that if that's the case, then I can do the same thing. But then I
No,
would be
you
considered
can't
a
because
hoe.
you can't. Because
I would
only
be
reason,
considered a hoe, and a man would be the pimp. But that's another subject.
right? Because men
Yeah,
and
that's
women
another
different.
subject.
Because we have different mentalities. Even if you look at lions, lions are hump their girl, then they go out and hump somebody else, but they protect their family and they respect it within they
Mm-hmm.
clan. So it's because it's just physical. Like when some men it's just physical. They don't look at
Mm-hmm.
sex as how you look at it. That don't mean that they not a good daddy, that they not a good brother, that they not none of that. It's just they don't look at sex how you they don't value sex how you value it.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not debating.
No, I'm just saying from the
uh-huh.
because
Yeah.
the video
Hey.
of how you thinking, like listen to the video. It's saying that it's some Greek mythology. And if you like really know about Greek mythology, like they like serve different gods or whatever. Like just like Christianity, like the Father, God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, like three different like they serve different gods and stuff. So they talking about sex with different gods and people being over sex acts and saying how that benefited them and benefited their culture, the Egyptian culture. And this is a culture that's just not understood. That don't mean that it's good just because it's Egyptian. It's a lot of things about the Egyptian culture, how they made the pyramids that we don't even understand. Right?
Right.
So what
Right.
make it so how we know it's good though?
Well, it's
Right.
definitely not. And I can explain. So, like with this, and I agree with like both of y'all are making some awesome points. One of the things that I mentioned earlier to fully break this subject down, we would have to do like days and days of live streaming because it's a literal extensive concept. But in like these particular videos, there's good and bad aspects about this video, any other video, and even some of the points that were made. Some people look at sex as a good thing. Like I think you had mentioned that Dave earlier. Some people they just like, hey, I don't like sex, or maybe they together and they don't want it.
Right.
And then we got the physical aspect as well as the spiritual aspect because some people don't see sex spirituality at all with it, and then other people do. And then you have a group of people who believe in magic. There's a group of people who don't believe in magic. I don't agree personally with a lot of the actual points in the video, but there are talking points there as it relates to magic, because that is something that a lot of women do. I know of a lot of us have heard about women taking their menstruation blood, putting that in spaghetti. That's one of the old school
Right.
ways. Again, I don't agree with this stuff, but I would be a fool to say that people don't do it and don't agree with and believe in it. So it's just something in terms of making the conversation.
Right,
Um,
right.
but it's so deep, like fam, it this
It's
I,
definitely deep because I hear people talking about this. That's the only reason I hit the panel or whatever. I hear people talking about so much sexuality, and I hear people introducing themselves with sexuality and shit like that. And like, all right, because for instance, I'm gonna give y'all an example. Like about a couple weeks, about almost a month ago, I was in the crib. I had came in. I had came in the crib. I had cut my TV on in the front room, and I went upstairs in my bedroom. I live in like in a condo. So
Mm-hmm.
my sister came and rang the bell. My sister hang out with a girl, a stud, basically. That's her best friend. They best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So she rang the bell. When I look outside, I didn't see anybody. When I answered the intercom, my sister said it was her, so I let her in. I ran downstairs, I opened the door, and I went back upstairs and I went in my room. So happened on my TV is the WNBA on there. And my sister came in and she said, "Oh, your ass in here looking at these WNBA women." And I said, "I don't look at them dyke ass women or whatever." But she got this stud girl with her.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't look at them dyke ass women or whatever. I'm like, don't no real niggas look at that goofy shit. So I'm just playing with my sister. But she took it, she like, fuck, guys hate studs and just that and the third. And I'm like, I don't hate you. I'm just a humor. And I'm trying to explain it to her, but she just couldn't understand it. But like I told her, I said, well, you put that's important to you. And I understand that. She said, "No, it's not. You just look at me a certain way." I said, "I look at the way you introduce yourself. You introduced yourself and you told me that's what you were. I never introduced myself and told you I like women. I didn't say, hey, how you doing? I'm Dave. I like women. I never brought no sexuality to you. You're the one who opened up that door about sex or who you had sex with. I never asked you no shit like that, or I didn't introduce myself like that.
Yeah.
So I look at you how you wanted me to look at you."
Mm-hmm.
But she can't understand
Okay. So
why I
you
look at
saying
her like
people
that.
introduce their so you're saying people introduce their sexuality before they introduce their who they are as a
Yeah,
person.
even
That's
with
what
the,
you're
the
saying.
transgender
Okay.
guys. They tell you, oh, if you like, if I look at him and I look at him, I see him for what I see him, and I might call him a guy. And the first, or he gonna walk up to me and say, "I identify myself as this." Like, do you think I go around all day telling people I identify myself as a man?
Mm-mm.
No, you
Okay.
don't identify yourself as a woman. So
Well,
because we don't identify ourselves with our sexuality. So when
well,
people
they
do that, that's how you look at them.
Well, Dave, and I ain't trying to be funny, but you better be glad because you could be flirting with somebody you think they a woman. I mean, a
Uh-uh.
biological woman, and they are not. So at least they are letting you know.
Well, we're not in that situation because
Yeah,
I wasn't flirting with her or
yeah, I
flirting with
understand.
none of
I'm just
them.
joking.
So
I'm
we
just
not,
joking.
yeah, I understand what you're saying. If I came at them like that, then yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But we not in that situation. I think when people introduce themselves with their sexuality, that's how you look at. That's how you gonna look at them. Even when you find out about their sexuality, dudes ask girls how many bodies they got in. Girl asked the guy how many men how many women they slept with or what have you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? People judge people off of these things.
Right, right, right,
But I don't introduce, because that's why I don't introduce myself with
right,
that.
right.
Don't you hate you ever been around a guy? It don't even just go with girls. It could be a guy that you would be around and all he talk about is the women he had sex with, and you be like, God damn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not empowering.
Right,
It's
right.
not nothing. You gonna look at it's like I can't get nothing empowering out of that. So when I
Yeah.
hear videos like that, it's just like it's videos to make people feel better about themselves, whether they men or women.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what
Because
you're saying.
Yeah.
what the
When
fuck?
you finish, I'm gonna let a shoe talk.
My fault. Go ahead, Aisha. I might could talk a lot. Go ahead.
Hey, Ma, thank you for coming. Go ahead, A Shoe.
All right. Hey, Selena. Hey, panel. Hi, everyone.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Um,
issue?
what would
hey,
you like to add?
I just want to go back to I think the point of the video was just you were discussing what just sex magic and how people of different cultures used it for different practices in ancient times. Or
Yes, ma'am.
what exactly is the topic?
Oh, we're just talking about sex magic. I know I did the if I don't know if you were here the other day, I did a video talking about sex magic, and I showed a video of Tasha K talking to a witch. Her name is Satin, and she was talking about what type of rituals that some people do in sex magic, and I was talking about where a lot of people kind of got it from. It was Aleister Crowley, but really, Aleister Crowley was into, was it Egyptology? And so he studied a lot of that. And I was just basically just talking about what is sex magic, what are the, how do people, what do people do in sex magic, like the different acts that they do. And this one with this live is just a part two to the live that I did. I think it was, I don't know what day it was, but it was sometime this week. So this is the part two where I had Brother Brainwaves to come on because he used to be in the occult. So he knows a lot about why they use sex magic. What do people get out of that practice? So that's basically what we were talking about. Hey, Gigi.
Okay,
Sexuality.
then I want to say the guy who came up on the panel later, because I came in towards the I guess just before Dave hit the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you're talking about, Dave, if you caught a little bit snippet of what the guy was playing or what the brain waves was playing, it was talking about how they kind of use it for different purposes. You know what I mean? They conjure basically, witches conjure, all right?
I
So
ain't hear you
even
say that
though
again.
witches conjure, they conjure up things, all right? So even when you say you look at sex as just, I have a vibe with this person, I'm doing this with this person, or that you find them physically attractive, whatever the case may be, right?
Right.
I think that's the issue. That's the issue. It's not that small of a thing. You understand? You may see it as, this is what I choose to do for the evening. This person is, we got a vibe, whatever the case may be. But you could have children with these people. Latex condoms have been known to cause different health problems or health concerns for women later on in life. Maybe not immediately, but later on, right? Because for every action you do, there's a reaction, there's a consequence for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Western culture has been taught to minimize just how important it is, even though you don't see it as being that important. That is the problem, okay? What you're doing on a very small level is witchcraft. You don't know that, you haven't been taught that, and you don't see it that way. So in your mind, your intentions are good, right? But you have been taught you couldn't sleep around people, right? You can't do certain things, whether you understood that to be that or not. And I wish brainwaves, if this is your video and you're trying to explain the video and you say you have occult knowledge, you have a knowledge of different things that maybe the ordinary person doesn't, that you explain that. It's not just everyone takes on the do what thou will, the Alex and Crowley kind of methodology or thought process in this culture, because you've been taught to. And you don't see it as that, but that's exactly what it is. You're doing whatever it is you want to do. The Bible teaches against that. You have to have some kind of discipline and some sort of accountability in your everyday life, because your actions just don't affect you. And it's easy to say, hey, this is what I choose to do with my body, or whatever the case may be. Or I don't, and then later on that becomes, I didn't like this baby mama, she was just after my money, or she wants child support from me, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
That something that small can cause the problem that we're seeing in society, and it has. So I respect your choice. It's your choice. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want with yourself, but it's a part of a bigger thing that people just choose not to see because there's consequences to it. It is very, very, disheartening to hear hey, you're going to be punished for these actions. You're going to have to answer for how you treated someone. Sometimes you can't elevate in life because of how you treated someone. You thought it was just sex. This person thought you loved him. You know what I mean? They shouldn't have let you touch him because you weren't married to him.
Right.
But it's not.
Hey, shoot, you got a whole bunch of background noise.
Girl, because I am
Can,
driving.
can
I heard it, and I had to hit the pedal.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Brainwaves, did you want to add to something that she was saying?
Well, absolutely. One of the things with it, we have to remember, everything we do is magic, first and foremost. And some of the minimalization and a lot of concepts on what we do that is harmless, that in itself is witchcraft. It's like a lot of us do witchcraft on ourselves because we believe, oh, well, this ain't really causing any harm right now, or this is no big deal, or I'm under full power and I have full control and I determine whether there's going to be consequences or not. But We don't know that. Like, for example, there has been guys as well as gals, for example, they'll lay down and have sex with somebody and they think they're not going to catch feelings, but then there's a lot of guys that caught feelings. Maybe she put that thing on them. Maybe she put some magic on them. Maybe she did rituals or whatever it is. Maybe she didn't. Same thing with the woman. It's been women that, you know, feel they can be promiscuous, as society says, and they think, well, I'll lay down. I'm good. I sleep with this guy and that guy. And then maybe they catch something. If it's not feelings, maybe they catch something else. Maybe they took precautions thinking they wouldn't get pregnant. Next thing you know, they get pregnant. Or maybe they actually get hurt because the guy that maybe they thought they was feeling, he ain't feeling her, and you know, he going about his business, and you know, she's hurt that way. There's so many examples with it. But back to the just staying on the sex magic talk, it's very powerful. It's not a physical act. It is a physical act. It's just like having a relationship when you believe in a God or you believe in God. Like I believe in the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But you know, people believe in what they're going to believe, and when you have a spiritual belief, you can't really necessarily apply something physical. Like a lot of people say, well, if you believe in God, then show me God standing right there. But you can show how God is manifested in your life, a spiritual experience, and then you have a real physical manifestation. That's the same type of mindset that people have with sex magic. They believe you have couples, right? You have married couples, you have boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever. They literally perform sex magic on their boyfriends, their girlfriends, husbands, wives. They see it totally different. Like even if their partner's not into it, they'll be in it. And then you have couples that both believe in it, and then they do stuff to manifest things. They take the energy of orgasm, busting a nut, as we would say in the streets. They take that energy at that heightened climax point, and then instead of thinking about the physical act, because a lot of times most people go into a physical act, what they teach you in witchcraft and other forms of practice, like we're seeing here around the world, it's going to be multiple beliefs around the world. So obviously, if you're of one culture or one background, you're gonna be like, okay, this is a bunch of bull. I don't follow it, or maybe you do. I study world cultures, and I try to be respectful of that, even though I don't follow them or I don't rock with them. But I'm not going to disrespect what was a tradition, because we have to be very careful when we're disrespecting things, especially due to our perceptions. You know, our perception is just that, it's our perceptions. We have to understand they have their perceptions too. And if we believe ours is right, how can we say that somebody else's is wrong just because we believe ours is right? The argument can go both ways. But with them, a lot of people believe at the height of climax that, hey, I want a new car, for example. So right at that moment of climax, instead of thinking about the physical act, they think about, I want a new car, or I'm gonna make this man mine for the ladies, or I'm gonna make, you know, this woman mine for the fellas. You know, we hear about it like 50 cents talking about, I got the magic stick. If I can hit once, I can hit twice. A lot of this is in our music. Like it's so much sex magic in our music. You got the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they got like sex magic songs. Justin Timberlake, like a lot of the music that we listen to, it's a lot of sex magic in it. And there's a lot of dancing, like we see. We seen from just a part of the videos we seen here. A lot of us go to the club. Back in the day, it was the juke jerk, you know, the juke joint. For those of you that I like to say it, the juke jerk, but it's the juke joint, you know, from back in the day. And that's what it was called. They would go like the movies, for example. I'm not going to do any spoilers with the movie Sinners.
Oh
But for those of
yeah.
you that seen the movie Sinners, there was a lot of freaky deaky stuff going on, or potentially that was going on, and it brought out some things. It brought out some magical things, and this has been a similar theme in multiple cultures. It's not just an opinion; it's literally documented facts from cultures around the world. And if it wasn't a documented fact, I wouldn't have it shown from that perspective of multiple cultures. And then even going down into different books, different religious texts, you see the spiritual warnings and guidelines on when to engage in sex, when not to engage it. That in itself, you could say is magic. People say, well, wait a minute, how can you say that that's magic if it's a holy text? Let me break this down real quick. When we put letters together, we spell words. Keywords, spell. We are spelling. We are taught as children to spell. When you're spelling, you're doing magic. You think about it. If you say, I hate myself, for example, then you're going to engage in activities and put yourself in situations where you hate yourself. If you tell yourself you love yourself, you're going to put yourself in loving situations. And the list goes on and on and on. I am successful. You're going to speak yourself up, or you're going to say, I suck. You're going to bring yourself down. Same thing with other people, life and death and the power of the tongue. So we're doing magic all the time and don't even realize it. When you say good morning, how are you, for example? Oh, I'm all right. Oh, I ain't doing well. Well, then you're speaking curses on yourself. Or you can say, hey, I'm doing great. You know, I'm having a wonderful day. Even if you're not, you're allowing yourself to actually have a positive day. Positive affirmations, prayer, all of these things can be considered magic depending on how you look at it. And again, I don't practice these things from that perspective. I practice it from a biblical perspective, but I understand how the world sees it. So when it comes to sex, they see it like we've been seeing it as a high form. They don't look at it as physical in these cultures. It's like, this is how you connect with God. What is it? Sexual healing, Marvin Gaye, you know, sexual healing. A lot of people use sex in terms of healing. It has helped to heal people. Maybe if say a woman was traumatized and she got with the right type of man, you know, that man truly loved her. When they actually have sex, it actually is a healing experience because it is therapeutic. She knows he loves her and he's getting that energy. You know, he's getting that energy. And so, and vice versa, you know, women can do that. So it's these rituals are not as far-fetched as we think, but in Western society have dumbed down everything that we do. It's not even just magic or sex. Everything's like, oh, whatever, that ain't none. Marriage ain't none. Relationships ain't none. Social media, like everything is fake. Everything has no validity, no sacredness. They saw it as sacred. Religious text sees it as sacred. Those that understand it, it's a sacred thing. You know, you should only share that with the person you really supposed to be married to and be in a divine connection with, to bring forth more divine energy, to produce divine children. This is why our in society, our children are out of order, because anybody just laying down, you bust a nut, you accidentally bust a nut, the condom break, birth control don't work, you slip up, whatever it is, you drunk, high, under, you know, influence. Next thing you know, a child is brought forth, and as some people say, you bring forth demon seeds. And then next thing you know, we have the watering down. We just sleep or whatever just because somebody look good. Somebody look good could be a witch, could be somebody evil, male or female, but they look good, but they might be abusive. And, you know, so we're doing things when we engage in sex, we're looking at it from the carnal aspect, and that is magic in itself that's been weaving and worked onto us. They use commercials, they use material, they use platforms like OnlyFans. You see how social media, all the women on social media believe they got to be over, you know, sexualized, you know, showing everything, doing everything. Everything you have celebrities, you have artists. It's so much shifting onto that it's crazy. And somebody in the chat, Randy SoCal, this is probably very important to answer. Says, how is a person saying how they feel placing spells on themselves? That's being true to self, not lying to everyone else. That's keeping it real. Again, everything that you speak is a spell. When you put letters together, no matter what language you speak, I don't care what it is, if it's hidden language, forbidden language, Hindu, like it Chinese, it doesn't matter. Cantonese, when you speak and you put letters together, you form words. Words is our basis for comprehension of what we're trying to relay out of our mouths. Otherwise, we might as well not even speak or think or comprehend or read or listen or understand. So when we use words, it's power in that. A lot of people don't believe that it's power. When you see witches, warlocks, they do incantations, they're speaking spells. They don't just go out and do rituals. They tell them, speak this, do this, say this 3 times, etc., etc. So anytime we say things, we are cursing people. When you say F you to somebody, you're cursing them, and you reap what you sow. So if you don't cancel that out, that's what they say in witchcraft or in the occult. You got to do a spell or do a ritual or summon somebody or something to cancel that out. If you don't cancel that out, in biblical terms, we ask for forgiveness. Father, I have sinned. Forgive me for saying F you to that person. Forgiveness is for oneself. It's not for the other person, it's for self. So if you don't cancel that out, then you are allowing that F you energy to come back to you. Same thing, do unto others as you want done unto yourself. So if
Right.
you put that energy out, even as it relates to the bedroom, if you, like me as a man, if I'm going to go sleep with a woman and I care for that woman, I fell in love with that woman, and whether it's in wedlock or out of wedlock, I'm not even going to get into like what's right or wrong with that. But if I care for that woman and I actually we lay down together, then the act of sex with that woman is going to be loving. It's going to be caring.
Right.
It's going to be nurturing. But if I'm just like, well, she fine, I'm just trying, man, come over here, like, like in the songs and stuff, come over here, I just need to bust one. Come on, do what you do. That's what everybody do. And it's meaningless because society makes everything meaningless. Human connection is meaningless today. Back in these days we looking at, it was powerful to take a human connect. That was a sacred connection. That's how God, when we get married, what God has put together, let no man asunder, in different cultural variations. This is why we have ceremonies with weddings. When we get married, if it wasn't a powerful, magical, spiritual thing, we wouldn't have wedding bands, we wouldn't jump the brooms, we wouldn't have all types of rituals and things that we do. We wouldn't dress up. We wouldn't do all of that. Is magic. It's powerful. So when it comes to the bedroom, we forget that. We be caught up in the moment. We just like, man, shawty looking like whoop de whoop. I'm about to smash. Girl, he looking good, and we get caught up, but we forget about the magic.
Right,
we forget about it. So this is something that back in the history, everything was sacred back then, and they held on to that. So all these cultures are tapping into that. They realize the use that this is gets you to connect higher to God and to connect to some higher form spiritually, whether it's of good use or bad use. Now that's another conversation. But people do that, and there's a lot of people that don't tell you this. They don't tell you that, hey, I believe in this spiritually. My mother did this. My father did this. I come from a family of this. I come from a culture. I live in this region, and they're going to engage in sex acts. That's why sometimes certain people, they sleep together, and then like guys be wondering why they can't get rid of the woman, or they can't get away from the woman, or it seems like they always run into the same thing. Women like, I just can't get away from him, girl. Why can't I get away from him? I don't want to be with him. I don't love him. I don't want him, but I can't get away because he put that spell on you.
Okay.
We say
all
that
right.
thing.
Let me let Hassan talk for a minute because he just came up here, and then we're gonna go back to the video. Then I'm gonna get back to a shoe. Okay.
Salute, Hassan.
Salute, Brainwave. How you doing, Selena? Shoe,
Hi,
how you doing?
you?
Hey,
Now,
how
this is
are
a
you?
great, good. This is a great topic about sex and all that. Now, since we were putting religion into this and cultures and rituals, that's why in my religion, you're not supposed to have sex until marriage. And even now, does some people break that rule? Yes. Now, when you do, you're supposed to get married right away. And Brainwave said something earlier. You got to respect other people, culture, and religion. Even though you disagree with them, but you got to be respectful because it can get deadly, It's like in my people, other religious, other cultures, not to fight. Even you say they're wrong. You're not God. Don't play God. Let the Lord deal with them, right? You got to treat them as a human being. But humans are going to be humans, So we got to really be careful with that, especially when you come from Asia, Africa, the Middle East, Eastern Europe. They take that very, very seriously, I'm not saying they don't here, but over here is more like, whatever. And people can be more disrespectful with it. And that's like when people over there, they get really frustrated. Like, why are you being disrespectful? You can say you can disagree with them, but just be respectful. Just very.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's all types, tribes, culture. People do weird things. Trust me, I've seen weird stuff over here. But you
Okay.
gotta respect it. It is what it is.
All right. I'm gonna go a little bit back to the video, and then I'm gonna let A Shoe talk. And it's good to see you, Alan Clay. Hadn't seen you in a long time. Martin, thank you for coming through. Let me go back to the video.
And if so, why were they later demonized and suppressed? Medieval occultism and sexual alchemy. In medieval Europe, sexual alchemy was practiced in secret by esoteric groups such as the Rosicrucians and the alchemists. These groups believed that sexual energy could be transmuted into a higher form of spiritual enlightenment, a process akin to turning base metals into gold. But unlike material alchemy, this transformation was internal, an evolution of the soul. Some alchemists taught that through celibacy, one could conserve this energy, while others believed in sacred sexual unions that would generate an elixir of immortality. These practices were kept hidden, veiled in complex symbolism within ancient texts. But why did these secret orders fear persecution? Or did they seek to protect this knowledge from those who would misuse it? The Templar connection. The Knights Templar, one of history's most enigmatic orders, were accused of engaging in secret sexual rituals. Some claim these accusations were fabricated to justify their persecution, while others argue that the Templars possessed ancient knowledge on sacred sexuality, possibly acquired during their time in the Middle East. Their supposed rituals involved the worship of Baphomet, a mysterious deity often associated with duality and balance. Some believe that the Templars uncovered lost esoteric secrets, connecting Eastern and Western mystical traditions. Were they truly heretics, or were they keepers of a forbidden truth too dangerous to be revealed? Renaissance magic and the influence of Kabbalah. With the Renaissance came a revival of ancient wisdom, including the Jewish mystical tradition of Kabbalah. Some Kabbalists believed that sexual energy could be harnessed to elevate the soul, bridging the gap between the physical and divine realms. This was seen as a means of achieving divine union, the perfect balance of forces within. Through sacred unions and meditation, practitioners sought to balance the masculine and feminine aspects within the.
Okay. A Shoe, did you have anything you wanted to add to this? Because I know you've been waiting.
Yes. Well, just to honestly to respond to the person who was on the panel before, I agree. There are of course different religions all over the world, but we're not just talking about religion. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
for you to say that you can't really judge people, it's not really judging. You can look at someone and say, hey, that's not right, right? You don't have to be God to say that. They do that every day in court, right? They tell
Right.
you were wrong for your actions, and they actually sentence you for it. So for you to come, I'm not really sure where you're from or what your religion is, which is totally irrelevant. But you hit a panel, and I'm in the States. I believe the other two panelists are also in the States. And you
Mm-hmm.
said we shouldn't say on the panel because of how someone else somewhere else may take it. That's irrelevant. A fact is
Mm-hmm.
still a fact no matter how you feel about it, for one. So for two, I agree that you people talk when you write out things, you're spelling words. Well, we're taught to call it spelling. So therefore it's spelling. Okay? But who taught you that's what you were doing? Who taught you that that was the word to use when you're writing out sentences? You understand that you're actually putting words together and you're spelling, right? So my
Mm-hmm.
thing is you were taught wickedness. You've been taught this. That may not have been what it was at its inception. That may not have been what the if you look at old papers, right? Old legal papers and different things that they wrote during the Constitution times, people don't even understand them. But that is the form of English they were using, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, I'm pretty sure in a lot of documents they do not say anything about spelling. This is new. The problem is our ancestors didn't really share the important things with us. A lot of times they probably didn't know to tell us these things. We are dominated by people who, or and not just white people. So that's not what I'm saying. But dominated by a group of people who are more intelligent than us. They have access to things we don't have access to, and they understand things we don't understand. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I'm not saying that the behavior of someone sleeping with someone is bad. I'm not even. I'm just saying you're wicked. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have to be disciplined that when you see someone that you want to sleep with, you think you're the only beautiful person on the planet. You think women don't see handsome men who want them, or vice versa. Men see women who are beautiful every day. But are you disciplined enough to say no and to commit yourself to your religion? My issue with Christianity, because I'm not a Christian, is it's like you could do something to someone and just say I'm sorry, and someone will be there to answer to God for you, right? To say yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll forgive that. And if that's the case, what would be the point of Judgment Day? But once again, that's a different subject. So I study history, and I study different cultures and religions all over the world, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that I agree with a lot of what the video is saying. I'm saying when someone comes up and says something as simple as, I don't feel this way, I don't feel that way. It's not about your feelings. Hell, I feel a whole bunch of crazy stuff, Selena. I tell you all the time what I feel like that I should be Michael B. Jordan, but that's not my husband's name is not Michael B. Jordan. You understand? Your feelings change. It's whimsical. God says your heart is
Oh
wicked,
yeah, I love my
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my point is,
Right, right.
you have to be
Very much
dedicated to
so.
something. Yeah, and you have to be dedicated or grounded in something. For me, it is the Bible, mostly the Old Testament. But when you say something as simple as I'm sleeping with this person, we're not married, you have to, you know what it's like you have to dedicate yourself to someone. That is putting a whole set of rules and boundaries on yourself, right? And actually upholding
Mm-hmm.
those is a totally different thing. And I think people in Western society just they actually like the being witches. They do. And when you tell them that's what they're doing witchcraft, they get offended. They don't want that. They want to be able to do the actions without the consequences of said actions. You understand?
Right,
So that's why
right.
I'm saying
Got
that I wasn't disagreeing with the person you have on the panel. I have to go back and listen from the beginning, which is why I asked you what the discussion was on. But I think something as small as that you should bring that up when someone comes to a panel and say, hey, this is what I do and this is why I feel like this, I feel like that. Well, yeah, but look at what they're doing, right? They felt like if they slept with these people, they could conjure different magic. They were still doing it's still doing what you want to do. It's doing what I will. And that is the issue, right? Maybe there were
yeah.
people in that society didn't see it that way, but or they weren't as offended by it, or honestly, they seem to be a smarter society. I know someone said that we are the smartest we've ever been in history, which is laughable, but you know what I mean. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
disagreeing. I'm just saying when someone give them that rebuttal and give them that knowledge behind it. That's what you should do. Not just play the video and let someone just speak. Tell them why what's the witchcraft of today, because no one's walking around with these little jewels on and conjuring spirits not where you can see them. You understand? So if you
Mm-hmm.
say that they're conjuring, explain to them how they're conjuring, how they're doing witchcraft, not just with your words, but with your everyday actions that you were taught is the norm. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna let you go because I'm still driving.
Um,
Huh?
okay, I did want to ask Brainwaves because we know that in this day and time, and it has been an increase of women, especially African American women, that are practicing witchcraft. And I wanted to know from your standpoint, like, how is it that women use sex, that witchcraft and sex, like what is it that women do in this day and time that they use their sex to I guess captures a man's attention or whatever, like what are women doing now in their witchcraft to sway the man, or to I don't know, to get the man to give them all of their attention and stuff. Can you explain that to me? Because women, we already have beauty. We already have, most of us, can be sensual. We know how to be manipulative. What are some of the things that women are using in witchcraft to kind of hold a man or to keep a man bound to us through sex with witchcraft?
Wow, it's so many. One of the modern day uses is through electronic means. One of the most popular one because and like in today's time, there was a time when people used to connect physically more so, and now everyone's connecting
Mhm.
virtually. People prefer to send a text or chat versus actually picking up the phone, calling, or even video chatting, or
Mhm.
meeting in person. So like one of the biggest things on social media is filters. A lot of women are using
Mm.
filters to make themselves look more alluring through electronic means. So it's like, ooh, I think whether it's filters on pictures, filters in the videos, maybe even filters when they video chat, and that's why it's so prominent, and so prevalent for women primarily use them. It's not to say men don't use them. I mean, they're there, guys use them, depending on what it is or what have you. But that's one of the things. You have things in everything from perfume, so it's like scents. So when you smell like certain women, say like you're a guy's walking by and he's getting
Mhm.
a woman may know that, hey, this guy John Doe be on the route. I see him every day, in this location. She may deliberately put on um things that are enhanced via sex magic and some type of perfume, whether she adds it to a perfume or she gets like a concoction that either she makes herself or she buys it from people. Because like now on like Etsy and all these platforms, they be selling all types of jars and this and that, and it says attract a man, perfume or whatever it is, like whatever the intention, because like in witchcraft, everything is intentional.
Right.
Everything is intentional. So they don't do it unless there's intention behind it. Um, they're like, hey, I'm gonna do this for this outcome. I'm not gonna do this for that outcome or what have you. So a lot of women are doing that. It goes beyond the clothes, even in the fabrics. Some of these custom
Mhm.
clothes, they do spells and rituals in the clothes. So whether it's literally in the fabrics that
What?
are actually made, they chant things, they say things, they try to infuse it with certain things that they believe would lead to fertility or attracting this and attracting that. And it's a lot of subtle things, a lot of subliminals that are going on. It's certain things like when you said like women using their lore. There's certain things. It's like repetition in witchcraft and magic. They do a lot of things in repetition. They constantly chant. They say things. So it's a certain way that they would either look at a guy to entice him, and then like time it out at certain intervals so that it's sending a message to try to allure him to either pursue. It's more than just the regular attraction. Like I know women look like, hey, I'm here, I'm looking good. I know you see me, come on, come talk to me, whatever. It's beyond that. Like they do it with intention. So normally with
Mhm.
attraction, it's just like, ooh, girl, I'm feeling him. He come talk to me, and you kind of go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
Mhm.
well, he gonna talk to me. Let's see what's gonna happen. It's the excitement. No, what they're doing with Magic is they want that guy to come talk to him. I mean, talk to her because maybe they saw that he got money, or maybe they seen him with some other woman, and they want to mess up what they got going on. That's one of the big things that's going on right now. A lot of women want to sabotage what you have, and they want to tap into what you have. So it's like they want to siphon off of that energy. Like, oh, they got a loving Jane Doe and John Doe. They got a good relationship. And I want that energy. I want that good relationship energy. So they'll try to entice you to sleep with them so that they can tap into that energy. And this is why, like, you
Mm.
have so many women that are it's like a shoe. She was saying it, there's no more like restraint. There's no more discipline. One thing we heard like with the cultures, they were disciplined. Regardless of
Right.
whether we agree with them, whether we think it's right or wrong. That's a whole nother conversation. You could see a pattern of discipline. They were focusing, they were meditating. They either kept it sacred. Certain people had access, other people didn't, et cetera, et cetera. And so in today's time, that's gone. So what they do is people see that and they want to weave magic on that. They want to, we hear about energy harvesting, energy vampires. There's many ways of getting energy. They see you lovey, like Selena, say, like you got a man, they see your relationship lovey-dovey, then they will literally try to send other women. They will literally do spells. They will literally contact deities, contact spirits, and do rituals to try to send, say, like a woman to your man's way to tempt him. And this is how a lot of guys fall. A lot of guys fall with it by having the other chick, and they sneak around because it's not like they telling a woman, hey, hey, babe, I'm feeling the woman at work, or I'm feeling this woman that I cross paths with, or what have you. Most guys not doing that. They keeping it a secret.
Right.
So when they keep it a secret, they allow that darkness, and that secrecy allows the power of the spells and the magic to work. And they be
Right.
knowing that. They just want to tap into that. They just want to tear up what you got because they don't have it. And once they get it, that's why a lot of times they get it and they like, well, I don't really want you, but the sex was good, thank you for that. But a lot of women, see, I know we had, was it Dave that came on earlier? He talked about it from the perspective of guys like, okay, well, I just want to bust a nut and that's it. But you got a lot of women that's like that. A lot of women cold. They'll be like, they cold-blooded.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So we have to be disciplined with our bedroom. It's a sacred act, regardless of what you believe in or not, or what you don't want to do. And even if you don't believe it in the constructs of marriage, it's still a sacred act. Like, for example, witches, warlocks, even when they engage in those practices, it's a ritual for them. Like they're doing it with an intention to achieve something, and they're solely focused on that intention. Yet when a lot of us in Western society, when we sleep together, we don't go into it with an intention. We don't look at it, well, I'm sleeping with my husband or my wife or whatever to help strengthen the bond in my marriage, to strengthen the love, to bring a higher spiritual connection even between us. They don't see it that way. They're just like, okay, well, this is what we're supposed to do. And we can't look at it like that because there's power. If it wasn't powerful, we wouldn't desire it. Like if sex wasn't powerful, if there wasn't some type of energy behind it, some type of, we could call it a magical force, no one would desire to have sex. I'm like, no, I don't want to. Just like you say, if you may not desire to be with your husband or wife or somebody, but there's some celebrity or somebody that'll just, you be like, yo, and you'll have a gravitational pull to that person. Sometimes those people are actually watching you, or somebody else is watching you, and it's a spell behind that. I've had that happen with me. I've had that happen where there's people, even content creators that I have spoken to, and it'd be like this real strong attraction, like it'd be almost like out of, like, uncontrollable, and you'd be like, okay. And we would both talk like, this is not natural. And what it is that it been people that will be working spells on like both of us, or like you and somebody else, to make something happen so that they can either try to attach to your destiny, try to attach to your energy, get something, mess you up, throw you off course, whatever it is. Again, they have a means to an end. So a lot of times we thinking it's just a harmless attraction, but it's more that could be going on. And that's why you see with these cultures, they were very selective. When you play the other video, you'll see what I mean. They were extremely selective on who they laid down with, but we ain't like that no more.
No, we're just, if it feel right, if you looking good, if you are convenient and meet my need at the time, then hey, let's do it.
Exactly.
That's what I see in today's society. I don't see anything more than, like, I see very little do I see like relationships. I would be like, man, I would love, no relationship is perfect, but some people out here, they're just like, I'm about ready to, squeeze and bust, and that's about it. Let me go in there and get my squeeze and bust off so we can do it all night, and that's it. First of all, I wouldn't want a man to describe that about me in first place. I'm ready to go tell the world about it, or tell his friends about it. Like, that is not, to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little different, but I just don't understand people, and men and women think that's, well, I guess for some people it's okay because everybody is not the same. Everybody doesn't have the same mindset or motives on having sex or whatever. But I just think it's sad. But I do think that men in these day and time, especially if you are a man that's has a purpose on your life, and what I mean, all of us have some type of purpose, right? Brainwaves.
Right.
But there's sometimes where maybe the Most High may be trying to get a man's attention, and then there will be a woman that will be sent there, right? Not from the Most High, could be from, the underworld, right? And they try to get the man, instead of him focusing on what's more important, they will sometimes use women to get the man off track. And the same with vice versa with a woman. Sometimes when a woman has she's very gifted, or she has something that she's supposed to do, as far as like maybe what the Most High would want her to do. And then sometimes they'll send a man there to get her off, and they're just beautiful distractions. But people don't really think about that because nobody cares about purpose or a calling on their life, and they're like, who's calling me? What purpose? Who's giving me a purpose? So I can't, it's kind of hard for me to articulate, but I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yes. And that goes even if you don't believe in God. Let me make something clear. I know there's all.
I know you disagree, Randy. You always do. Go ahead.
Listen, even if you're an atheist, sleeping with somebody can profoundly change the course of your life. What happens if you sleep with somebody you don't want to be with and children come about? Or what happens if you sleep with them, you get an STD? Or what happens if you sleep with them, they got somebody, they told you they don't have somebody, and next you know you get rocked or worse or whatever, or you always dealing with something. What if you sleep with somebody and you get implicated in something legal, right? There's so much to this, whether you believe in God, whether you don't believe in God, whether you believe in this, there's a lot attached to laying down with a person. And oftentimes you don't see it right away. For example, somebody could say as a woman, she could be like, well, I don't believe in God. I'm just sleeping around. But then she goes sleep around, say she sleep around with 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever the number is. I don't know, 100. We'll just make up another. Let's say 100 guys. Or like, what is it? The women that were on like TikTok. And I even talked about this one lady, she like slept with like 700 guys in like 24 hours. And she ended up in the hospital.
Wow.
It was a white chick, and then they were competing with others because again, people will do anything for social media. So that woman who slept with that many guys, there is no way she's going to be able to pair bond because she just like it's meaningless to her. It's an act that's supposed to mean something, and it don't mean nothing. It's like, I'm busting up. It's like eating something. I don't care. It seems harmless in the short run. But in the long run, it does thing. It messes with us. It puts us in certain moods. We attract certain energy. A lot of women start looking a different way. As a woman, you take things in. Women absorb, they receive, they take things in, just like the male body part. And so those things that come in, she started becoming like the guy or the guys that she received or receives. And then she's like, well, wait a minute, who am I? You start getting confused. If you smash everything under the sun as a man, you're gonna be like, well, I done hit that. I done slept with white, black, green, blue, purple, yellow, young, old. You're gonna be like, well, I don't really care with getting with anybody. All you're gonna care about, it's almost like a drug. Sex becomes like a drug. and that's because of the magical, powerful aspects on it. It's a lot to it, and it goes far beyond a religion. It goes far beyond that. I know a lot of people upset with religion. Religion has done things. You got bad, acts that have taken place in religion. Family members, stuff like that. I've seen stuff. Look, I've seen a lot of stuff, y'all, and I get it, but the point remains: sex is something powerful. It has an effect on us. If it didn't, people wouldn't want to do it. The majority of people want to engage with, they want to feel the companionship, they just horny, whatever it is, it's something powerful. I mean, they just want to procreate, they want to have kids. If it didn't have an effect on us, this wouldn't even be a topic. It wouldn't be a grounds and a basis to get people caught up. You can use sex just to get somebody caught up. Women use sex magic to get, for example, guys caught up legally. Oh, he SA'd me. She just want to get you, like you were saying, just to get you to sleep with you. And then next, you got caught up legally, or you got caught up
like
on
Shannon Sharp, like guys like Shannon Sharp and some more that deal with these type of women, and then you say, "Oh, I can't believe." Oh, why can't you believe? This is what you attract. You knew that this woman was just about money. Why did you even go that route? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff that some men and I'm gonna say some women get into, it's kind of like the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall, but because you so damn horny, you can't even see the writing on the wall. You're so into getting busting, squeezing bust that you have no common sense. Hey, Nacho, you have no common sense. So I want to talk a little bit about soul ties. We might not get into the videos as much, but I wanted to talk with you about soul ties. When you're having sex with people, some men think that they can't get soul ties. It's just the women get attached. But even though the men can just bust a nut, like, do they still have a soul tie to that woman? Like, and what are soul ties?
So absolutely, and there's one thing I want to add very quickly as I go into the soul ties, and I'm gonna tie that into this conversation. When everyone knows about what happened with Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, he cursed himself. I notice people don't believe in the power of what you say. Listen, if you go out and you say something negative to like law enforcement or what have you, that can put you in a precarious situation, or some stranger. If you say something positive, that can put you in a good situation. We have to be careful what we say. Same thing on social media. That's why a lot of people get caught up. Now, Shannon Sharp cursed himself by saying, I don't want no good woman. I don't want no good Christian woman. I want a sinner. He cursed himself. So what he did? He spoke it into existence. He got a sinner, and then he got caught up with a sinner. Now, by him, quote unquote, sleeping with that sinner, then he took on everything. He opened himself up spiritually to everything that she could have brought in. And she's the one that won in this situation. She got his money. Nobody really looking at her as somebody bad. Like at first it was like, wait, she's on OnlyFans and this and this and that. Now it's like it's quiet with her and the focus is on him. It's like she took everything that could have been perceived as negative, and now it's on him instead of being on her. It's like, he was looking in the positive light prior to all this going down. That's some of the stuff that people do. They switch with you. Now, speaking of soul ties, there's things that are tied to your soul. Again, for every action, there's a greater and equal reaction. E equals MC squared. I mean, if you don't believe in the Bible, you don't believe in anything spiritual, then E equals MC squared. Like, you got to believe in something, Big Bang Theory, something. Like, I know these people capping if they act like they don't believe in something. Like, stop the cap. Like, for real, just stop it. I know it might irritate you. It might make you feel some type of way, but that's because there's something that you're wrestling with. There's something there. Now, when we do things, there is a reaction to it. Just like even in the bedroom act. If you hitting it right, if you getting hit right, if you the woman, then there's going to be a reaction. Or lack thereof. If you ain't doing it right, you're gonna get kicked out, like, get out of here or whatever. the point is with soul ties, a lot of guys don't think that they can have soul ties because they like, I ain't catching feelings because I'm a man. But see, we're
Mm.
talking about spiritual soul. We're not talking about feeling ties. We're not talking about physical ties. The definition soul ties. The Bible says, you know, you become one when you lay with one another. Other religious texts, other acts say you're merging. You merge the divine masculine, the divine feminine and masculine within oneself or between two people when you get together. It is that merging of becoming one, and you are making a soul tie. They taught us in society that when you sleep with somebody, it's like you're sleeping with everybody that person slept with. So you laying down with one person, but if that person laid down with 5 people, then you got 6 people. You see what I'm saying? It's like you laid down with 6 people. So with that being said, there's an attachment that's there, and men oftentimes say, well, I don't feel her like that. I don't feel, but I guarantee you, if she putting it down and she giving it to you, like what Biggie say, if you know what, if the skull right, he there every night. I'm trying to keep it, you know, clean for the algorithms. You know, if the what Jeezy said it, all the rappers be saying it. We know that if if the top is right, then he there every night. That's a soul attachment. You like, yeah, man, she can come through and do that. But because a man is not going to respond emotionally, he doesn't realize that he has an attachment to that. Because I know guys say they come and go, but like even pimps keep their hoes on the roster because he know what they good for. And that's another conversation. So men do get soul ties, though they don't realize, because they think soul ties means you catching feelings. Feelings and emotions got nothing to do with the soul. That's feelings and emotions. We're talking about spirit. So obviously, if we didn't have, I know people don't believe that we got a spirit, but like they say, catch the vibe. Certain people got a vibe. So how do you explain the vibe aspect? Right? If we're just flesh and bones, and that's it, and there's no soul in our bodies, because it's like the atheists and a lot of people, they don't believe. Okay, if we're just flesh and bones, then why do people have different vibes? You come around some people feels good, other people feel bad, some people feel like kindred spirits, like you vibing whether you good, whether you bad or not. You pick up on it. Why do animals pick up on people's spirits? If you got a dog, your dog might, your pit, your rock, your Doberman, your guard dog might be barking at one person because they got a bad spirit. They got bad intentions. They can pick up on that. Something on the inside. Others, they like, hey, that person, they want to lick them to death, let them pet. They pick up on, maybe you're an animal lover. They can pick up on that. Kids, babies. See, the problem is, as adults, we've been detached from spirituality. Babies come fresh out of the spirit realm. They be in the womb, so they only been 9 months, roughly, give or take, depending on when they actually physically make it out here, out of the spirit realm. So they're in tune, they're in touch, they see things, they know things. But as adulthood, we've been conditioned to not believe that, oh, this is fake. Oh, don't do this. Oh, don't do that. Kind of similar to what the video said. The video said, well, was it sacred knowledge? Were they trying to suppress this? There's a lot of suppression to even having a conversation about this knowledge. They don't want the average person to understand this, because if the average person understand it, it can give them some form of liberation and power. The saying, knowledge is power. Knowledge gives us wisdom, and when you have wisdom, you have the ability to do something. Just like
yes. So can I ask you this question? Because if say for instance, if a woman sleep with 100 men, like the woman that the English woman that slept with 100 men, so she slept with 100 men plus whoever those men slept with, right? Plus whoever those women slept, or if they was heterosexual or bisexual, whatever, whoever they slept with, and the list goes on. So she's getting all of those soul ties just by sleeping with these people.
Correct. Absolutely correct. And again, it's not emotional tie. Like those women, from what they're telling us, I mean, I'm not, we're not those women. So we just have to take their word for it. But from what they say, those women move like dudes. They'll sleep with 100 guys and they be like, they don't have no emotional connection, but it's not about emotions. You still get soul ties. It be weird stuff that happen. People can put stuff on you. Sometimes other people are cursed. Sometimes other people got stuff on them. And if you sleep with them, bad things can happen to you. It also works the other way. Some people are blessed. Some people got good stuff, quote unquote, with them or about them. And if you sleep with them, they can tap into that goodness. That's why certain people want to just sleep with you. They want access to that energy. That's magic to them. If they can just sleep with you, the mere act of just sleeping with somebody is magical. It can change everything for them. It's like, we could say, hey, if the right person put in a call or put in a word or make something happen for you, good or bad, like for instance, a supervisor, the right word with a supervisor could potentially promote you or give you an opportunity, or it can demote you or get you kicked out or worse.
Right.
So there's this pattern of that energy is everywhere. It's not just sex, but a lot of people don't see the importance and don't care because they've been trained that way. A shoe brought that up. She mentioned that earlier. Society teaches us that. Maybe our family, our parents, maybe our peers, social media, a lot of things teach us to not see the spiritual aspects of things. And that's how we get caught up. We got to see it. So like that woman, 100, ain't no telling how many souls those people got. So she could potentially have 1,000 souls on her. And it would be equivalent to her sleeping with 1,000 different guys.
So, and sometimes you'll be taking on their personality traits. Like maybe before you didn't like pizza, all of a sudden you sleep with someone that it likes that type of stuff, and you start eating it. Things like that. Or you always had a vibrant personality, very fun to be around. You could sleep with someone that's very depressive, that struggles with depression. So you get that you get that attached to you as well. Is that kind of what you're saying too? Because
Absolutely.
You said it's not emotional. It's more of like, since we're souls, whoever we are on the inside is what we bring to other people when we connect with them in that way. What you're
Absolutely.
saying.
Have you
Okay.
seen, Selena, like example, have you seen, for instance, like there's been, let's say like a woman, let's say, okay, like a woman's dating a guy, right? She dating some guy and the guy is, he's kind of a-hole-ish, right? He's kind of like a jerk, a-hole. That's just like his personality. But that woman wasn't like that. Then she started dating that guy that's an a-hole, that's a jerk. She sleep with him. Next thing you know, she start acting like that. Or it can go in a good way. Maybe, she wasn't as understanding in situations. Maybe it's like, girl, you don't ever understand or whatever. Same thing with the guy. This affects guys too. See, a lot of guys don't realize it. This is why a lot of guys, we be dealing with stuff in here. Like we're not open in nature like women are. You all as women, you all are more, society says it's okay to open, verbalize, talk about it. We don't say nothing. We just have our actions. So sometimes we'll sleep with a woman. We think she's fine, but then all of a sudden we be feeling off or feeling some type of way, or we start engaging in stuff that we normally wouldn't engage in. That's because we got that woman's soul on her. We added her to the team. And then the more you re-engage with that same person, it's like filling up. You just getting deeper and deeper and deeper with that person. So that could go good or that could go bad. That's magic. It's changing who you are.
People get magic as something like a fairy tale. So, I don't know. But, everybody has their right to agree or disagree. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that. If you do get these like soul ties, how do you get rid of them? Like, is there anything that you can do on your end when, and mind you, soul ties is not always physical, like sexually physical. Like it could be emotional, right?
Yeah.
You could have soul ties with someone emotional. So I just want to know, if you do have soul ties or you feel like you're attached to someone that you should not be attached to, what can you do to get out of that?
there's several things depending on what you believe in. And I'm going to give several different examples. So the first thing you want to do, if you do not want to have a soul tie with an individual, then you need to cut all acts of sex off. If it's a sexual soul tie, if it's an emotional soul tie, you need to separate yourself. If you can, some situation, maybe you work with somebody in your environment, you're going to keep crossing paths. Some people say just cut them all, block the number. I mean, if you could do that, cool. But you want to cut the emotional ties, you want to cut the sexual ties, or whatever it is that caused you to have that type of tie. Number one. Then number two, you can pray, like if you believe in, God or whatever, you can pray about it. Ask him to help you relieve of this, because or to sever that connection, because again, it's spiritual. It's not a physical tie. It is a soul tie. So you have to bring something spiritual in. It's like fight fire with fire, as they say. So since you want to separate spiritually, you could pray about it. You can fast, you can ask God, hey, separate me from this person. I shouldn't have slept with them or whatever. Like, it is what it is. However you want to go about it. Boom. Do that, or whatever religious version. For those of people that engage in the occult, new age, witchcraft, then, maybe they go take their spiritual baths. They be saging, smudging themselves. Maybe they call on their deities to sever the connection. Maybe they make an offer. They burn something, bury something, do something. Maybe they do a incantation, or they go to somebody that they trust to do those things. There's various things that they can do. Some people try to wear stones and crystals, and certain things, believing that that's going to protect them spiritually from even having a soul tie. But that's dangerous ground, because you don't know who you're dealing with. Number one, you don't know if their bloodline is stronger than your bloodline. We hear about bloodlines, and you hear about watering down the bloodlines, and this is one of the things that people will say. And I'm gonna answer the question. What's going on, Earth Day? Venus Catch 22. I'm gonna answer your question in just a second. You know how like back in the day, you had like, it's what we would call the eye cest. Like you're going in cest. You know what I'm trying to say? Where they would marry within the family to keep the bloodline strong.
Right.
There was people of cultures that did that. The same thing goes with bloodlines. Some bloodlines are just stronger when it comes to magic. Some people come from a stronger bloodline. So you might think that your crystals, your stones, your spells, your deities, or whatever you're doing is stronger. It's people that be stronger than you. It's always somebody stronger, faster, etc. So it can override what you're doing. A lot of people don't understand it. It's like Meek Mill said, the rapper, for those of you that don't know, the rapper Meek Mill. It's levels to this. And a lot of people don't understand this whole conversation is levels to it. A lot of people like, I never heard of this. You on the surface level. This thing runs so deep. I done been all the way down, back up. But there are things that can be done. You can go to someone that specializes in that. You have people that specialize in that spiritually. I used to do that for people. I used to do that. Now, if somebody were to come to me, I'm just gonna use the natural spiritual gifts that God has given me. You hear it in the Bible about the gift of healing. We hear that some people have the gift to heal. I have that gift. So if the Most High sends somebody my way and they needed that healing, I'm just gonna heal them. I'm gonna do what I do spiritually that God has given me. I don't need no crystals. I don't need none of that stuff. But I'm going to send that petition to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and boom, they should be healed. There's many ways like that to go back, but you want to seek professional help. If you're unfamiliar with this, whether you're looking something up on the internet, you need to find guys, pray about the guidance. Ask that person that may understand this, because these are conversations you can't have in a church, because they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. Your average pastor of whatever faith or religion may understand it, but they're not going to really go down that avenue with you. And then when you look at people around you, they don't know this stuff. They don't understand. He's like, what are you talking about? It ain't none of that. You just sleep with a person. You just move on. Like, why can't you get over that person? Again, this is why people struggle with it. Earth Day. This ties into Earth Day's question. She says, question, would you consider a soul tie from your past? Absolutely. Um, Here's for people that believe in reincarnation, because I understand the point that Hassan was making, and also understand the point that she was making. Like I understand it, and it's really deep to cover all bases. But there's some people that believe in reincarnation, depending on their background. Again, you might not believe it, but other people do. So a lot of people believe that they have a soul tie with an individual, male, female. In the new age community, they call it like twin flames. You know, you got a karmic partner. You got tarot readers making 1,000 videos. The karmic this and da 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 da. And it's like, even though you're not physically, this is what people gotta understand. Even though you're not physically together, you feel that tie to the person at a soul level. It's not a fit. You've never met that person. You never slept with that person. You never had any physical interaction, yet you have a tie to that person. That person feels a tie to you. Now, how do you explain that scientifically? How do you explain that when a person can maybe understand your thoughts? Again, you have a connection as if they're a family member. You know, like we have sisters, like Selena, like with your sisters, or like your mom, your dad, or like for people that have a husband or children, they have that soul tied to their child. Like mothers, I can feel my child going through something, or I felt something was wrong. That's at a soul level. That's not at a carnal level. So this thing is real, and people understood that. So you have a soul tie sometimes with people. Maybe it's unfinished business. Maybe it's something that God wants you to cross paths. Maybe you just need to work with that person. You might be like, hey, it's something about this person, and it's some reason why we need to talk or come together. It doesn't always have to be sexual, but you have a soul tie. Some soul ties we have with people are BFFs that we know of today. Some soul ties are family members. Certain family members we just close to, and other family members, it's your family. I mean, I'm keeping it 100 now. I don't know if people gonna put that cap on. They be capping on the internet, but I keep it 100, right? We got family members that you really don't give a damn about, like
that part.
Their blood, but I mean, it's like they don't care about you. You don't care about them. Their family. I'm not saying you're gonna be disrespectful, but there's nothing there. And then there's other people you feel at an inner deep level.
Right.
And a lot of men are afraid to admit that. See, I don't go that way. No disrespect to anybody go that way. I mean, I'm straight masculine with mine, and I'm gonna be straight and direct.
Right.
This is real.
Yes,
CX 2.0 says spirit body living earthly, human experience. Exactly. We're having a human experience. At some point in time, we're going to leave this. People have scientific documentation of seeing people who breathe their last breath, and you can see their soul leave. Some people have noted it with orbs. There's police videos showing somebody that's gotten shot, and then they obviously unalive the person, and then you can see like an orb or something like leaving the person's body. There's a lot of accountants like literally documented. It's not just, well, you making this up. Literal and when it comes to law enforcement, I work in public safety. A lot of people in law enforcement don't believe in the spiritual aspect, just like in the medical field. You got a lot of doctors, you got a lot of nurses, a lot of medical people believe that science can explain everything. That's why when we talk about this conversation of sex magic, like, what are you talking about? Magic? I don't believe in that stuff. It don't matter if you don't believe. For example, we could say we don't believe that the sun rises on the east and sets on the west, but the sun rises. Or somebody could say, I don't believe that Selena has a YouTube channel. I just don't believe that. It's not personal. Selena does have a YouTube channel. In fact, we're on it. So whether you believe this stuff or not does not change the fact of its existence. And that's what I try to get people to understand, to open up their perspectives, because it will arm them. Yes, Earth Day is absolutely right with that. And I need to talk on this. This is important, Selena. Earth Day says, so do you believe we all have feminine, and I guess basically she meant to say masculine energy, and we have to balance it? Absolutely. Let me start from the scientific aspect. we all have a level of, so for instance, at me as a man, I have more testosterone than I have estrogen. But scientifically, there's a level of estrogen and there's a level of testosterone. Same thing with women. There's a level of women having more estrogen than testosterone. And if anything gets out of balance, you know, there's tools and drugs and things we can take to help bring that back into balance. But we all have that within us. We have these chromosomes within us that make us. Everything at a scientific level proves that we have that. Now, due to the peer pressure of the alternative lifestyle, and again, if you're a part of the LGBTQIA community, rock on. That's not where I'm trying to go with this. I'm trying to make an argument from the heterosexual stance, right? A lot of guys in particular be like, well, I'm not embracing no feminine side, you know, pause, you know, that's weak. But we have to embrace that because the feminine side allows us to create. It allows us to be understanding, to be nurturing. Like if you're in business, you got to understand the clients that you're dealing with. You got to understand what's going on. That all of this stuff, all the creative for us hooping, you know, a football, for us being in the studio, coming up with music, coming up with art, coming up with new products and services to offer. All that come from the feminine side. This is why you got a lot of women that's in those fields running it. Now, women have tapped into their masculine side. They know how to conduct business. They know how to be bosses. They can go in there in the boardroom. They can go in any room and sit there and handle business just like a guy because they understand that balance. But see, women are more open to it. It's less peer pressure. But when it comes to men, if you talk about a straight man talking about he tapping into his feminine side, they're like, what the hell wrong with you, bro? I didn't know you was like that. It's not like that. It's literally energies and a spiritual concept that we need to balance. And it also is talked about in the Bible. For instance, it's an example. Christ is supposed to be the groom. And then us, as those of us that believe in him, are the bride. So that means whether you are male or female, if you believe in God, I'm not a Christian, been there, done that, been a Catholic. I just believe in the Bible. I'm a believer. You know, like, well, what are you? I'm a believer. I don't rock with none of these religions. Been there, done that. Taught, been in the pulpit. Look, I've been through everything, y'all. Y'all be surprised. But nonetheless, Christ is the groom. We're the bride. And us having a relationship with Christ represents that. So whether you are a man or a woman, we have to submit to Christ. Again, it's God first, you know, then it's Christ. Then it's supposed to be the husband and the wife and the kids or what have you. And in each level and each role, it teaches us an element of submission. When you go to a job, whether you're in the military, whether you're in public safety, whether you're in sports, some of the most masculine sports for men, you got to submit to somebody. You got to submit to a captain. You got to submit to a coach. You got to submit to a team owner. You got to submit to rules, laws, order. You know, somebody in a higher rank. You got to submit. That submission is a form of feminine energy. But guys don't want to admit that. They be submitting all day to their supervisor on a job. When we come on these YouTube platforms, guess what? We got to submit to the terms of YouTube. We be submitting all day. When you drive a car, you got to submit to the rules on the road. Or you walk, everything we doing, we submitting all day long. But these guys don't understand it because they in toxic masculinity. So what I'm trying to explain is that we always have this sexual energy of sorts where we're merging the masculine, the feminine and masculine within ourselves. And that's what these cultures taught. They taught the balance of that. They learned they had discipline, higher levels, whether it was celibacy, because that came up. That's a form of sex magic too. When you're celibate, you are literally equipping yourself. A lot of guys like to talk about no fap. You know, they say, oh, no fap. We ain't fapping, you know, we ain't beating the drum and all that stuff. Okay, that's also can be considered a form of sex magic. See, a lot of people don't understand how deep that is. And they talk about the benefits of no fap. You know, you start getting wiser, you start getting more information. That's because it's actually a form of magic. Instead of you going out being loose, you're being disciplined. And it's making you stronger. You're elevating.
Well, could it be just discipline and self-control and not magic? Because when I think of magic, I think of something like sorcery. I don't think that I don't know if I agree with you on that, because I don't see it as sorcery. I see it as self-control. I see it as somebody being disciplined with their body. That is just my opinion, but I don't see it as sorcery being control of your body. But it may, I respect your opinion though.
Well, I'll explain it like this. When
Mhm.
it comes to understanding spirituality, and a shoe had tapped into this earlier, everything is misunderstood.
Mhm.
The goal and the job of the powers that be, when she said there's people that's smarter and wiser than us, what they did is they tainted everything. They ruined everything. There's books in the Bible, for example, that's been added and taken out, but then they tell you no
Right.
addition, subtraction, multiplication is wrong. For example, the Catholic Bible has way more books than the Christian Bible. Like, I
Exactly.
understand all these world cultures and study this, but yet they'll tell you that, oh, that's wrong. We don't follow this, don't follow that. So as it comes to magic and our understanding of magic, everything is magical. Disney talks about that a lot. Do you believe in magic? They teach children that, they teach kids that our thoughts, everything is magical. And we've been taught that magic is equated to sorcery. It's
MK
equated to
Ultra.
being, yeah, MK Ultra. You see, look, y'all know. So it's not, everything is not bad like we think it is. Now, there is a bad element in everything, but it's not. When I say magic, I'm not saying it from some like abracadabra or some, doing some. That's not what I mean. I'm
Okay.
saying it from an energetic level in terms of how we are operating, because it literally does transform things and change things. So that is spoken from that perspective versus, like, for example, the things that Christ did. We could say that that's magical. He turned water
Right.
into wine. I mean, I could go on, but that's one of the most popular things. How do you turn water into wine? That's
It's
not
like
humanly possible. That's
words are
something.
spells, right?
There we go.
Because don't you have to spell a word? So how words are not spells? What you speak is a spell. What you embody, you're embodying a spell.
Right.
You're
Right.
allowing that energy to come within you.
Right.
You can't put up an argument with dark and light. But I came up here to apologize to you guys. I might get a phone call. I just wanted. I've been watching you for maybe 3 years, and respect to you. And I've listened to. Sometimes I've disagreed a little bit, and I had to learn throughout it, right? But I continue to watch you. So I like your channel. So I was shocked to see you up here with my beautiful sister Selena. What I'm saying is, at the beginning of birth, it takes up to maybe 5 to 6 months to determine the sex of a child. Why is that? Because through the womb, it looks like a vagina. So to
Mhm.
argue about you don't have feminine and masculine, it depends. And sometimes with a morphodite type of thing, it happens that way. But that's how the sex is determined. So you can't put up an argument about no human being carries feminine and masculine. This is science and facts.
Right.
So what people run away from and don't think that people that takes this in consideration and truly want to just give the right information for you to balance yourself, hence like
Mhm.
taste the rainbow is your chakras in your body. Everything that is positive, they've turned it around. And that's why everybody runs 666, six protons, neutrons, and electrons. And they got you afraid of it.
Right.
Genius.
Yes,
Programming, CV
indeed.
programming. All the words make sense. Spells, dark, demon crap, demon, devil, devious. Hmm?
Mhm. All
Just
right.
be careful.
All right, Sister Earth Day.
You preaching, and I appreciate you. No, listen, no is no love lost, no harm done. I'm just blessed that you even think about me, because consider the things that I talk about, because I just try
Yeah,
to talk about it to bring awareness, again,
exactly.
get people to think about it, so that way, I don't know necessarily unless they
You're
have
a
a
student
conversation.
teacher. As
Yes,
you learn, you teach.
yes.
You can easily just go by if you can't relate. It's not for those to relate. It's those that can relate, not as against it. There's no need to challenge something that you don't understand. I don't understand anything anymore because it's an understatement. I understand because I take in everything soulfully and embody it. Sometimes fight with it, but I take it in. So
Right.
stop outer and understanding and start understanding and allow yourself to embody you and think it's not that I'm trying to turn you into nothing. I don't care what religion you are, but if you speak about something dark, you don't believe in nothing, and you think for one fact that you think that you just created yourself when science tell us that the youngest planet is us. Okay, I guess no other life is on any other planet. Allegedly, they never land on their own moon. But okay, I'm about to go. I'm giving a little
Well,
too much.
I want look. This is Earth Day. D. She stays on me a lot of times. I don't know why.
Because she's my little sister. She's my baby.
So she kind of stays on me a lot
Get on
because
her nerves.
I because I know what I'm talking about, but she say I don't. But
No, I don't.
but anyway, but shout out to Earth Day. Shout out
I
to
love you,
you.
sis.
All right, I do too. Thank you so much
No
for showing me
gems.
some love.
And guess what, you guys? I had a rough day. My mother's birthday party is tomorrow, but it's on the
Woo!
7th.
Yeah, I remember
So
you
God
told
bless
me.
her, 70 years old.
Wow.
Thank
Happy early
you.
And
birthday,
she's a
mom.
Leo. And so that I'm also a Leo in my moon sign. So and I'm
Oh,
a Libra. My dad's a Libra. I mean, like, it's all connected. That's when you know you're connected.
all right.
That's soul ties. We're just reoccurring with the same family. Possibly my mother could have been my sister, who knows, or could have been my brother. If that's the soul tie as well. So
Yes.
everybody think it's about breaking generational curse. No, it's not about a curse. Are you here to open your mind to set your family free from what you thought was a curse?
Right.
I love you guys. Thank you for allowing me up here. Writers for Life, my other baby sister.
Hey, writers.
I love her
Yeah,
so much. Give us
I,
some more poetry, boo.
I will.
Absolutely.
I'll give your mom a kiss for me.
Of course, because you know she love y'all.
All
I
right.
will do a little video. It's a soul train birthday party. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna have two Afro puffs. You know
That's
me, I'm
gonna
all
be
different.
fun. That's gonna be great. I'm
Girl,
happy for you.
she bought my birthday outfit. I'm still my mother, like, I'm the baby. Love
Yeah.
her so much.
Well, shout out to you, Earth Day, and I'll talk to you a little later.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. Love
Blessings,
you,
my
Reese's
brother.
Pieces.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sis. It's been a wow. Thank you,
You
Earth
guys
Day.
have
Y'all
a blessed
dropping them
night on
gems.
purpose.
You too.
Yes, you
And
too.
sometimes, you know, your rejection is the most high protection. So don't always be mad. Bless up.
What's up?
You
I
ain't
received that.
lying.
I
Oh,
received that.
look, I'm gonna ask you about that, honey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you about
You
that.
see what a shoe said. I know it's been up on the screen for a while. She said, I might want
Yeah,
that bullet.
I'm like, hey, shoot, I'm feeling you. I wish I had that. I wish I had that power to turn some water into some wine, shoot, or
I
some
know,
Don
right?
Julio.
We'd be
Shoot,
like,
I'd be set for life.
I know, right?
Some wine, some Don Julio, whatever. I hear you.
The bar
And
be open all the time.
okay, shoot, I need some right now. But shout out to Earth Day for giving us that insightful word. Cause yeah, thank God for that. But before we get off, because I've been up here 2 hours, so I'm, like I told you, I was out a little bit early. I had something I had to do.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you before we leave. I want you just to give the description of what is sex magic.
Oh wow. Okay. Sex magic is using anything that's related to whether it's done solely with another person, with multiple people. It's using anything that is dealing with the sacral chakra. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, your genital area. So whether you're thinking about it mentally, you're physically engaged in an act, or anything in any form of fashion that's related to that, using that type of energy and thought processes to achieve some means to an end. That's what I will say is an all-encompassing definition of sex magic.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To keep it simple, again, it could be something mental. You don't necessarily have to actually engage physically. Again, like the celibacy act perspective. If someone is celibate, they're not engaging in the act of sex, but yet they're still focused on not having sex, for example, to achieve a means to an end, or to achieve whatever that is. Some people engage in it. There's different ways they engage. Maybe they're engaging just electronically. Maybe because we have that this day and age. Maybe they're engaging spiritually. They invite spirits to have their way with their body. Maybe they engage physically with a person or two people or three people. There's different ways, but it's anything that involves the thought or physical act of our genital region, as it relates to achieving a means to an end.
Okay. Thank you. And one more question before we get off. And I would like to say happy birthday to Smitty. I hope you have a better year this year. I hope that you mature in some areas, that you are blessed, and that thank God that he gave you another year. So shout out to Smitty. He's one of my longtime supporters.
Happy
Smitty was
birthday,
my
Smitty.
first Smitty was my first internet. He was my first internet crush that I that I made on here when he saw my picture. Shout out to Smitty.
That's what's up.
Why do they spell sex magic not Magic, but they put a K with sex magic? What's the difference?
Remix.
Yeah.
Again, as I mentioned with the Aleister Crowley conversation, everyone's trying to again, the whole idea of sex magic is to a means to an end, to essentially use that to create some type of situation, or some goal. So they put a K on it to, it's kind of like the modern day twist of it. As we saw before, we saw like the older versions of it. We didn't finish the video, but we saw enough to see, okay, that's
Mhm.
how they got down, that's how they did it. So it's like a modern day twist, and it lets people know that are familiar. It's like, oh, okay, that's what you do, that's what you into. It's kind of like code. It's like putting somebody on modern day code.
Mhm.
That's what they do. I can't say good or bad, because they may see it as good, they may see it as bad, and it depends on what it is. But that's like the modern day twist to it. It's all the same at the end of the day. um it's just like if I call you Selena, if I call you Selena, if I call you sis or whatever, at the end of the day it's still referring to you. So
Right.
it's just the new twist they put on it.
And this is for those who do not know. This is Aleister Crowley, which he did call himself the Great Beast, which was 666. So this is the Caucasian male right here. And you see, well, you probably can't see the hat, but he has like, is that a symbol, like a Egypt symbol or something on his hat? Let me see. No, it looks like a Masonic symbol. From me looking at it, it looks like a Masonic symbol. I can't really see it. Let me see if I could.
It's essentially, yeah, it's
There's
like
a
the
lot of
pyramid.
symbolism here.
Let me see if I can get this
Let me see if I can
picture.
find it.
Let's see if I can get this picture up, then I'll share. I'll share this
Okay.
with you. Give me 1 second. I'm almost there.
Okay. Oh, I won't go to it. But he was a very strange man, I can tell you that. Okay, this is a younger picture of him. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is a younger picture of him. Looks like he has some type of Egyptian kind of hat or cape or something on. Let's see if I can find. But he did study a lot in Cairo. I think he went to Cairo in Egypt.
Yes.
So he studied a lot of the Egyptian
It's
ways
like the
and
eyes of Horus on his hat.
yeah, the eyes of Horus and Osiris. You see
Yes.
this? You see what he has on? This is one of the pharaohs would wear this. So he really was into the Egypt history. He studied it, and you know, and that's where some of the is the tundra? Is that where some of that comes from?
Yeah. Yeah,
Egypt.
because it's a
Okay.
combination. It's like, you got the combination of things all wrapped in there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a video on that, but you guys need to look up if you're interested in Lester Crowley because he is the one to me really started talking about sex magic, and that's how a lot of people, especially over here in the states, found out about it because especially a lot of those. Elite families, which they call Illuminati, or some of these elite families, they did a lot of these type of practices um, to, I guess, gain some type of things in life, like long, like if you would have sex with the child. That means you would have longer life or something. These people that have very weird um, type of ideals, but some of it does come from Egypt history. So we really have to study. I'm gonna study some more on that. You said the symbol on the hat is called a Eye of Providence. Oh, okay. So I need to do some more research on this Aleister Crowley because a lot of, I would say, celebrities like musical artists, like rock stars, even some rap artists, a lot of celebrities being this into Aleister Crowley in a lot of his teachings. So, which is kind of scary to me because this man was nothing nice. So it is what it is. I appreciate you guys for coming through. Brainwaves, if you could just hold on backstage for a minute. But I appreciate everybody for coming through. And thank you so much. And again, happy birthday, Smitty. Happy birthday. Hope
Happy
everybody
birthday, Smitty.
hope everybody has a great weekend. You said Cecilia Russell also helped to share Crowley's. Oh, okay. Ideology. I didn't know. I don't even know who Cecilia Russell is. I'm gonna have to look that up. Do you know, Brainwaves? Cecilia Russell?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go down that path right now of breaking down
Not
his.
right now. Maybe we can, if you guys are interested, you will let me know in the comments if you would like me and Brainwaves to go over Aleister Crowley and Cecilia Russell. If you want to know about this particular subject, just let me know in the comment section because for some people are highly intelligent, they get it, they understand, but some people are just not really into this kind of stuff. I noticed, but there is a lot of people that are, especially the circles that I'm around. I like to go to different platforms that talk about this type of stuff, but the sector that I'm in, I think I'm by myself really, but some of the people that come to my chat are, in a different sector, and it has nothing to do with nothing but beef. So this kind of stuff is like, what? To some folks, but that is a lot of highly intelligent people over here that will, of course, catch it and I would say be curious about it. But thank you, Brainwaves, because she did ask you. You love history? Okay. Well,
Okay.
if Brainwaves has the time, maybe next week sometime, he's busy and I'll be back busy. I'll start back work next week. So I'm not gonna have lots and lots of time unless it's on the weekend or Fridays. So if he is available next Friday or whatever, maybe we can go over Lester Crowley or whatever and Cecilia Russell.
Yeah.
But that would be up to him because I know he wears many hats,
Yes. I
So
mean, I'm down for it as long as I don't foresee me having anything to do then. So,
okay, around this time or earlier.
I mean, we could do earlier. Um,
Yeah.
we could do
Okay.
earlier for sure.
Okay, well that's good. So we'll go over this. So remember, Brainwave, Cecilia Russell.
Yes.
I just remember the Madam Block. What is? How do you pronounce her name? Blakowski, some type of Russian name. Hey, I can only go so far with that. But anyway, love y'all to Reese's Pieces. I will talk to y'all later, and you said the Kush Empire. Oh, okay. Yeah, we might could do that, like I said. But we're gonna start off probably next Friday with this. I'm gonna do some history and different things. That's a little different. If y'all catch on or if y'all enjoy it, great. I'm gonna have an open panel, so if people don't agree or they have more information, then you can come up. Uh, blah, Vostika. I don't know. My Russian is not there, so
Blavatsky. You talking about the
Blavatsky.
name?
Okay, is it
Yeah, the name in the
Blavatsky?
chat. Yeah, Blavatsky.
Blavatsky. Okay, Blavatsky. I almost had it. But anyway, love y'all to Reese's Pieces. I'm gone. I'm gone. Earth Day. Well, let me see what you want. Yes, ma'am. Earth Day.
Okay, so I got my phone call. Look, I have to tell you guys this is on my mind, okay? And I have to
Uh-huh.
say it to where I'm like literally trembling. I'm about to give y'all a real gem to take you with and have you to think about it. Now, you know how they say in the Bible that it's only a chosen of 144,000. Now, what if I told you that that is not the amount? Hey, happy birthday, bro. Love you. What if I told you that that is not an amount of people, but it's decoding yourself and breaking out the matrix? What am I talking about? What equals blue and red, which are, Democrat and Republican? What color does that equal? I love colors. No one
Would
could
it
guess?
be
Purple.
purple?
What is your crown chakra? Your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if I tell you if you activate 144,000 like the molecules in your brain, that where they tell us that we only are capable, which they showed us in Lucy, to use 10%, that you have that capability.
Mm-hmm.
That is the chosen few. Activate.
Shit. I don't know if
That's
it's
all.
me.
Love y'all.
I'm just sleepy because that just went over my head.
I'm about to say yes. I grasp what you said, Earth Day, but yeah, Selena, she's like, woo.
Okay, look, I saw to go to sleep. Like every day, no, she wrong for that. Oh Lord. But shout out to Earth Day. She's she's very she's just an interesting young lady. So shout out to her because I'm halfway asleep, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like you're saying the numbers, and I'm just like, okay.
Look at AJ Smith's comment before you post, Selena.
He said every day. What do he say? Every day I'm drunk and I'm not thinking. Well, I'm not drunk, but I'm definitely sleepy, so I'm definitely not thinking. Shout out to every day. She's a sweetheart.
Yes.
Love y'all to Reese's Pieces, and I'm gone. I've been up for 2 hours and 21 minutes. It's time for me to go to sleep. Love y'all. Bye.
Selena.
It's a vibe, baby. Oak Cliff girl. Can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl. Put them heels on and prove.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana boo boo.